volunteer. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Steve Fossman, high above Gill Stadium, and I'm having the pleasure of broadcasting live our Pony League games at Gill Stadium, where the Pony League teams have a chance to play at a field that's over 100 years old, which was an ex-minor league ballpark, and on a bigger diamond, a 90-foot diamond, where the Pony teams play on a normal 80-feet diamond over at the Pony Field. The pitcher for the White Sox, as we are into the bottom half of the first inning, is Joe Byron, number 11. Doing the catching is Jude Ellico. Up to bat for the Twins is their leadoff hitter, number 2, Alex Elise, the second baseman of the Twins. Here's a pop-up straight up to the infield, and the catcher comes out and makes a nice catch. You usually see youngsters have a hard time with that play, Kyle, as that ball was hit right up into the infield, and Jude Ellico made a nice play, and the first out of the bottom of the first. Now at bat is Chris Elkins, the first baseman, number 3. On a beautiful Sunday day, we'd like to wish all the fathers a happy Father's Day. And we'd like to thank Manchester Public Television for bringing this game live into your home or into your mobile device. I know the boys were excited when they found out that the game was going to be broadcast live on public television. So here we are, and the second hitter for the Twins is their first baseman we mentioned, Chris Elkins. Here's a ball low. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls, no strikes on the hitter, Chris Elkins, is number 2 hitter for the Twins. The White Sox picked up 2 runs in the top half of the first inning. Is ball 3. A lot of these pitches are short, as you can see. The pitching distance for the Pony League, ages 13 and 14, is 54 feet. And the pitching distance here is the normal 60 feet, 6 inches. There's a strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike. So you'll see some of the pitches, as you did Joe Allard, who pitches for the Twins in the first inning, struggle a little bit with his control, trying to reach the plate. There's ball 4 outside. So Chris Elkins is on first with a 1-0 walk. Brings up the catcher, number 13, Ronnie Rivera. Ronnie played for the LSU Fighting Tigers in the fall, won a championship, now playing for the Twins here in the spring season. This is a real big ballpark. In the gaps. Here's a ball hitting the gap, which I was going to say. There's a lot of room behind the fielders. That ball is smoked out to right field. The right field is going to get it. And let's see, there's going to be at least 1 run scored. And Ronnie Rivera has brought the Twins 1 run closer as he hit a 1-out double and an RBI double. Brings in Chris Elkins for the first run of the game for the Twins. The normal distance at the Pony Field for home runs is about 268 to 280 feet. And here at Gill Stadium, the straightaway center field's over 400 feet. So there's a lot of room in the gaps. And especially with this artificial turf, the ball travels quick. So if the ball gets into the gap, the boys can run forever. There's a ball 1 to the pitcher for the Twins, Joe Allard, number 12. Where's number 12? 1 ball, no strikes. We're in the bottom half of the first inning with the White Sox leading 2-1. Here's a ball low. 2 balls, no strikes. The boys will be treated with pizza from one of our sponsors, Sal's Pizza, after the ball game. There's a fastball strike over the heart of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to Joe. And also, we're going to have a Most Valuable Player Award, and hopefully get that player to come up and we can interview him and give him a little surprise for being the most valuable player. There's Ronnie Rivera going to third and stealing third base as the throw goes into left field. So He's on at third base now, and he's 90 feet away from tying the ball game. Two balls, one strike to the Twins pitcher, Joe Allen. I think he's kind of confused with the count. And home plate umpire is John Trisciani. And on the bases is Ephraim Colliers. So he's got the correct count. Now it's 3 balls, 1 strike, as Joe felt that there was another ball thrown to him. Here's a nice fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 2. So we got a full count on the Twins pitcher, Joe Allen. Pop up over to the right, now to play into the stands. Count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. This is the first game of our doubleheader here at the Pony Field at the Gill Stadium, with the second game, the Blue Jays and the Red Sox, 2 of our top teams. There's a ball hit out to right field, and it's blooped into right. The second baseman goes out, and the ball falls. And in for a hit, Ronnie Rivera comes in from third. Joe Allen's going down to second base. And wisely, the catcher, Jude Ellico, does not throw the ball. So the pitcher helps himself, Joe Allen, with a 1-out double and knocks in his battery mate, his catcher, Ronnie Rivera, for the tying run of the game, and the game's tied at 2. Now at the bat is the left fielder, number 9, Liam Hobbs. A foul ball back here for strike 1. I'm glad to see the boys swinging away here at Gill Stadium. It's one thing, the difference of the field don't really matter, is them at the plate taking their hacks and they're swinging away here early in the ball game. There's a ground ball at third base. Third baseman goes through his legs. He boots the ball at third base, and Joe Allen goes over to third. That was kind of a routine ground ball to the White Sox third baseman, and he booted that play. So the Twins have runners on first and third now. Brings up number 15, Evan Ducatelli, and he's the extra hitter today for the Twins. Eric gets the ball to shortstop. Over to second for 1. Over to first base too late. But they make a nice play getting the lead runner at second base. But the Twins do score a run as Evan drives in the third run of the game. Gets an RBI for that. So the Twins are on top now, 3-2. Brings up the third baseman, number 8, Jackson Calabro. He grounds the ball to the pitcher. And Joe Byron comes up with it, throws over to first for the third out. But the Twins come back and put up a quick, crooked number themselves in the bottom of the first inning. So after 1 here at Gill Stadium, it's the Twins 3 and the White Sox 2. We'll be back in a moment. We are back here at Gill Stadium in the top half of the second inning with our Pony Day at Gill Stadium. We'd like to thank Manchester Parks and Recreation for allowing us to play here at Gill Stadium. And there's one very special person that's watching this game and listening to this game. His name is Tom Matson, and I know he's retired, but we'd like to thank him for all the hard work that he put in while he was here with Parks and Recreation. Thank you very much, Tom, for your service. We hope you relax and enjoy yourself like I'm trying to do part-time in Florida. Up to bat is Dylan Gentes, who's playing right field for the White Sox, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. So we got 3 runs for the Twins in the bottom half of the inning, and they lead it 3-2. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The defense for the Twins at third base is Jackson Calabro. There's a ball. The shortstop is J. Alexander Mendez. The second baseman, Alex Solis, and the first baseman is Chris Elkins. Left to right in the outfield, Liam Hobbs in left. Center fielder, Keith O'Sullivan, and the right fielder, Preston Bienvenu. Counts run full on the leadoff hitter for the White Sox, Dylan Gentes. There's a ball outside, so a leadoff walk to the number 9 hitter brings up the leadoff hitter, second baseman number 14, Cam Lioness. We have 5 teams in this division, which is our pony division. There's a ball, and down to second base is Dylan Gentes with a steal. So he's in scoring position with no outs here in the top half of the second inning. This program in the Greater Manchester Pony League is for ages 13 and 14. We also have a colt program, which is ages 15 and 16. And then an older program, which is our Palomino/Thoroughbred Combined League, ages 17 to 23. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter for the White Sox. If you want to play some baseball, I know these teams halfway or 3/4 way through their season. We do have a fall program that starts in the end of August, the beginning of September, that runs until the snow hits in the beginning of November. So if you want to play some good baseball with some quality kids, the Colt League has a lot of quality high school players that play in that league. You can go to our website, Greater Manchester Colt League, and you can sign up to play some baseball. There's a base hit as the third baseman, Joe Calabro, was going to third base, and in comes Dylan Gentes. That was a perfect hit and run executed by the White Sox. They had their base runner, Dylan, stealing third base, and the third baseman for the Twins had to go over to protect the bag, Jackson Calabro, and the ball was hit right past him into left field for a hit. So the leadoff hitter, Cam Lioness, is on with an RBI, and he's heading down to second with a stolen base, and he's in scoring position. So the game is tied now, 3-3. A little tougher for the catchers, too, in this division to throw out base runners, as the distance is a lot further than the Pony League field distance. There's a little number on third base. Jackson Calabro comes in, and he ain't going to have a play. Wisely holds on to the ball. So there's an infield hit by Nate Pelletier, the third baseman for the White Sox. So he's on first, and they got something cooking here in the top of the second inning with runners on first and second, and brings up their hard-hitting shortstop, their number 3 hitter, number 10, Nate Duquette. Nate got a base hit first time up, hits the ball hard. He's a good size, good-looking baseball player, and swings and misses for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. His dad is one of the coaches on the White Sox team, along with the head coach, Jason O'Neill, and the head coach of the Twins is Roger Allard. One ball, 1 strike to Nate. Ball inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. The outfielders are playing far back. They saw how hard he hit the ball, and they probably know how strong of a hitter he is, and they didn't want anything to go in the gaps and past them, so they're playing deep. There's a ball inside. The count runs 3 balls, 1 strike. Foul ball back here, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. As I was mentioning, the Pony League starts the first weekend in May, and they're almost done their season. They have playoffs coming up in a couple of weeks, and it seems like there's parity in the league. And the second game of our doubleheader will be the top 2 teams in the league, the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. So we should see even a better game in that nightcap. There's a ball 4 to Nate Duquette, so he's waddles on to first base, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the second inning. Brings up their catcher, number 8, Jude Ellico. So Jude's looking for a timely hit here to put their team in front. Here's a strike on the outside corner. No balls, one strike. No balls, two strikes to the number 4 hitter, catcher. Here's a ball hit sharply into right field for a base hit, and the White Sox are going to score 1 run. Here comes the base runner around third base. Nate Pelletier slides, and he's in safely for another hit, another run. So a no-out double by the cleanup hitter, Jude Ellico, plates 2 more runs for the White Sox, and they lead it 5-3. They have 4-3 on the board, but I think it is 5-3 as they've scored 3 times here in the top half of the second inning. Brings up the number 5 hitter in the first baseman, Noah Bosquet. Ball 1 outside to Noah. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a wild pitch by Joe Allen, so the runner moves up 90 feet. He's down over at third base. Now they got the scoreboard corrected, so it is 5-3 White Sox. And they just scored another run on that wild pitch, so it's 6-3. There's a big swing and a miss. And down goes number 5, Noah Bosquet, for the first out of the second inning. Brings up the pitcher, number 11, Joe Byron. The ball inside. Nice stop by the catcher, Ronnie Rivera, from preventing another run from the White Sox. There's a fastball strike on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice stop by Ronnie Rivera again. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Joe Allen's coming up a little short sometimes with his pitches when he's missing. Here's a throw over to third base, and the ball goes by the third baseman, Jackson Calabro, and in comes the base runner for the White Sox, Nate Pelletier. Well, that is Jude Ellico that comes in. And so there's another run. So it's either 6-3. We'll confirm after the inning. But they do score. Now nobody's on base. And it counts 2 balls, 1 strike to Joe Byron. There's a nice strike. Evens the count. So when Joe throws his fastball, he's been locating it. There's a ball. On the outside, the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The ball inside to Joe. He lets it go. And that's ball 4, so he's over in first base with a 1-0 walk. Brings up the center fielder, number 2, Cole Null. And manager Joe Allen is on his way to the mound. Roger Allen, who Joe's dad, is on. He might have seen enough, and he might go to another pitcher, or maybe just trying to calm him down. But he's out there. His dad's out there to speak to him on the mound to see if he's okay. A lot of this is confidence. Once you get in the groove and start throwing strikes, you see the more comes. And as we mentioned before, the pitching distance is further than what these players are normally facing over at the pony field. And a nice pat on his back to calm him down from his teammate Alex Solis. So his dad's going to leave him in. Hopefully his dad calmed him down, and Joe can throw some more strikes here and get out of the second inning. Cole Null is up. Here's a foul ball. I like this Cole Null. He's not that big, 13-year-old player, just come into our league for the first year after graduating from Little League. But if he's very aggressive up there, he swings at everything that's thrown over the plate. He doesn't get cheated, and that's the first thing to teach someone hitting, whether it be in Little League or Farm System or in Pony League, is to be aggressive up there at the plate, especially when there's a strike thrown to you. Another swing and a foul ball. So Cole isn't getting cheated. He's fouled the first two pitches off. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball upstairs to Cole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We are at Gill Stadium on Pony Day 2023. There's a beautiful curveball that fooled Cole. Nice curveball by Joe Allen. So he's got his confidence back, it looks like, and strikes out Cole Null for the second out of the top half of the second inning. Brings up the left fielder, number 12, Jacob Parsons. Here's a ball inside, and on his way to second is Joe Byron. So he's in scoring position with 2 outs. Looking for a timely hit from his left fielder, Jacob Parsons. Ball outside, 2 balls, no strikes. These players usually wear metal cleats at the pony field, and they're not allowed here at Gill Stadium with the new turf they put in. So a lot of players, if they don't have athletic shoes, they have probably sneakers, and that's what Joe looks like he's wearing. He's been slipping and sliding out there on the mound, and so he's having a hard time of it foot-wise. A foul ball off to the third base side and out of play. Count runs 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a check swing foul at the plate. So Jacob hangs in there, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, I can see Kyle, he does have sneakers on, which is kind of tough to play here. I don't know if you can get a shot of that, but he's got, black sneakers, and with them being flat, it's awful difficult to dig in while you're throwing from the mound and pushing off. There's a ball outside, so the count runs full to Jacob. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's a nice pitch on the outside corner for strike 3. So Joe Allen does settle down and get Jacob Parsons looking for the third out. But the White Sox do score several runs in the inning, and after 1.5, they lead it 6-3. We'll be right back. Steve Fosman back here at Gill Stadium. If you're just joining us, it is Pony Day at Gill Stadium, with the White Sox leading the Twins 7-3. At bat is number 6, the shortstop for the Twins, Alexander Mendez. So we did miss a run. Well, we had it right, Kyle. They missed a run on the scoreboard. So officially the score is 7-3 White Sox. There's a strike on the outside corner. Evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Twins shortstop. Ball outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned before, the second half of this game will be the Red Sox, who won the championship in the fall with the LSU Tigers. And they have 1 loss on the season. Going to be facing the Blue Jays as ball 4 to Alexander. So he trots over to first base with a leadoff walk. Brings up the center fielder, number 17, Keith O'Sullivan. There's ball 1. And Joe Byron seems like he's struggling a little bit with the distance of the pitching. 1 ball, no strikes. Big swing and a miss by Keith. Count evens, 1-1. There's another strike over the outside corner. So the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Twins left fielder. Ball just misses outside, 2-2. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Nate Duquette comes over, throws a strike to first base that gets the speedy Keith O'Sullivan. A nice play by the White Sox shortstop. And he retires the Twins center fielder Keith O'Sullivan for the first out in the bottom half of the second inning. Brings up the number 10 hitter, number 14, Preston Bienvenu. Preston plays right field for the Twins. And he's looking to get an RBI here to bring home Alexander, who's at third base, 90 feet away. Here's a ball that goes over off the catcher's glove, but Alexander thinks better and stays at third base with only 1 out. Counts 2 balls and no strikes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a ball at the same type of pitch that they stopped by the White Sox catcher, Jude Ellico, putting his body in front of the ball, preventing a run from scoring from third base. Counts 2 balls and 1 strike. The foul ball back here at home plate. Count evens, 2-2. White Sox have their infield in, trying to cut down that base runner for the Twins. Ball, and they stop by the catcher, Jude Elko, again, so the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the number 10 hitter, Preston Bienvenu. There's a pitch that hits the outside corner. Preston didn't agree with it, but the umpire rings him up for the second out of the bottom half of the second inning. Brings up the leadoff hitter and second baseman, number 2, Alex Solis. And the manager, Jason O'Neill is on his way out to the mound to speak to his team. Jason coached the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, as the teams in the fall all wore college replica jerseys, keeping up with the tradition of college football in the fall. The kids like that. And now he's back coaching here in the spring. He comes out to take the ball away from Joe Byron. So a lot of these coaches have played multiple games this week and have some of their players on a pitch count, which is nice to see here in the Manchester Pony League. And so Joe Byron is done for the evening, but he leaves with a 4-run lead and a nice job. And he hands the ball over to the number 14, Cam Lioness. So Cam's going to come on to pitch, and while he warms up, we'll take a break in the action with the score: the White Sox 7 and the Twins 3. We'll be back in a moment. On an exciting play at home plate, as there was a wild pitch and a nice play by the White Sox pitcher. Cam Lioness come flying in from the mound, and a nice play by the catcher. Jude Ellico threw a strike to him, and they gunned down Alexander Mendez at the plate for the third out of the inning. So the Twins threaten and do not score. And after 2 complete here at Gill Stadium, it's the White Sox 7 and the Twins 3. We'll be right back. We are back on here at Gill Stadium in the top half of the third inning. And up to the bat is the right fielder, number 5, Dylan Gentes. Two balls, no strikes to Dylan. An exciting play there to end the last half of the second inning. A lot of times a pitcher has a hard time getting to the plate that quick. But a nice athletic play by the White Sox pitcher, giving his catcher a chance to throw him out at the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. On a beautiful Sunday afternoon, Father's Day here at Gill Stadium. There's a strike to Dylan, 3 balls and 1 strike. There's ball 4, so Dylan draws a walk for the second time this afternoon, so he's over at first base. Brings up the leadoff hitter and pitcher, Cam Lioness. There goes the base runner down to second. And no throw, so Dylan's in with a stolen base. He's in scoring position once again with nobody out here in the third inning. That ball goes back to the screen. So Dylan moves up 90 feet, so courtesy of a walk and 2 wild pitches, he's 90 feet away from scoring the 8th run of the game for the White Sox. Fastball over for strike 1, 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, strike 2. So quickly, Joe Allen, the Twins pitcher, has evened the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a big swing and a miss by the White Sox pitcher. So he goes down for the first out of the White Sox third inning. Brings up the third baseman, number 13, Nate Pelletier. Nate scored 1 of the runs last inning for the White Sox in their big inning where they took the lead. A foul ball at the plate. No balls, 1 strike. Ball low to Nate. 1 ball, 1 strike. And ground ball, the shortstop, J. Alexander Mendez up, throws over to first base. Nice play over there by the first baseman. Picking that on a scoop, Chris Elkins. So 1 out, but Nate Pelletier does what he's supposed to do and put his bat on the ball and drives in, gets an RBI and drives in the 8th run of the game. Dylan Gentges scores, and now it's the White Sox 8 and the Twins 3. Brings up the shortstop, number 10, Nate Duquette. A ball outside the Nate. 1 ball, no strikes. Foul ball off to the right, not a play. One ball, 1 strike to the White Sox shortstop. Strike 2 to Nate, so Nate's behind on the count. Nate's a good hitter. Watch him protect this here so he don't strike out. There's a ball outside to him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good hitters protect the plate with 2 strikes. And Nate's one of those good hitters. Usually puts the ball in play. There's a ball outside low. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's a big swing and a miss. And a strike 3. So he goes down swinging. And the White Sox pick up 1 run in that inning. And they go ahead 8-3. So after 2.5. The White Sox 8, Twins 3. We'll be back in a moment. We move to the bottom half of the 3rd inning with the White Sox in control in an 8-3 score over the Twins here at Pony Day, our annual Pony Day at Gill Stadium. Up to bat is the leadoff hitter, second baseman number 2, Alex Salisi. It's a number over the pitcher. And Cam Lioness comes in and throws Alex out for the first out of the 3rd inning. Long way to run for Alex Solis with a small stride, so he's thrown out and brings up the first baseman, number 3, Chris Elkins. Chris pitches a little for this Twins team. Here's a big swing and a miss. I don't know if we'll see him today, but he's one of their pitchers during the spring season. And like we mentioned, the teams have played multiple games this week, and so there's only so many pitches they can use. The league has a pitch count rule where no pitcher can throw more than 95 pitches in a ball game. And the league observes the number of pitches the players throw on a regular basis. And so we're here to save the boys' arms to make sure when they move on to middle school and high school baseball that they're able to pitch and able to play there, because we are a recreational baseball league. Here's a big swing and a miss by Chris. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The great thing about the Greater Manchester Pony League is pony baseball, there are no boundaries, unlike Little League, where if you live on one side of the city, you have to play in that area. So we have several boys that come into the city that play from Bedford and Goffstown and surrounding Manchester towns, that there are no baseball after Little League other than travel ball. There's a pop-up over to first base and a nice running attempt by the first baseman, Noah Bosquet. But his hat fell off, and he got the black under his eyes. And plays the part of a baseball player, but just couldn't come up with it. Nice hustle by Nate. And the players come from surrounding Manchester, along with the Manchester residents, the players that come from the Little League in Manchester. It makes for a great program. Here's a ball that just misses the inside corner, a little bit high, and a good take by the Twins first baseman. So the count's full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss, and the ball goes away from the catcher, and there goes Chris over to first base. The throw over to first, and just beats him. And you can run on a drop third strike, and that's what Chris did. He hustled all the way to first base and just got thrown out by a running stride. Nice play by the White Sox catcher, Jude Ellico. And that has now we have 2 outs in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And that brings up the Twins catcher, number 13, Ronnie Rivera. Ball inside to Ronnie. Ronnie pitches for the Twins. I had the pleasure to announce his game on Friday night under the raindrops. He pitched a complete game, went 6 innings, threw 85 pitches, and he got the win for the Twins over the Blue Jays. There's a ball drilled deep into center field, and Ronnie's on his horse. He has a chance for an inside-the-park home run. He knows it. He just touches second. He's on his way to third, and the coach stops him at third base, but a 2-out triple by the Twins, Ronnie Rivera, and that puts him at third base into scoring position for the pitcher, Joe Allen. He hits the ball very hard. He's a tall, big boy, burly boy, and he doesn't get cheated up the plate. Hit the ball over the center fielder's head. Would have definitely been out of the pony field. Would have been a home run. It's a triple here at Gill Stadium. So here's the Twins trying to fight back here in the 3rd inning. The ball inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Ball low, 2 balls, no strikes. To Joe Allen, who started the day pitching. Now he's a position player. Nice stop again by the White Sox catcher, preventing a run. 3 balls, no strikes. Big swing and a miss. So Joe Allen had the green light there from his dad. His dad gave him the green light, and he swung hard at that pitch. He wanted to put that ball onto the roof of JFK Arena, which is behind Gill Stadium. This ball forward to Joe, so he's on at first base. And they got runners on the corners with 2 outs. Brings up the left fielder, number 9, Liam Hobbs. There goes Joe Allen, and he steals. Ronnie Rivera didn't get a good jump at third, and the coach wisely holds him at third base. So a base hit will play 2 runs and bring the Twins closer here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. There's another ball, a nice stop by the White Sox catcher, who's had a lot of chances back there, and he's stopped almost every pitch that's been in down low or in the dirt. He's gotten all of them. A foul ball back here. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Red Sox beat the Yankees today on Father's Day, 6-2. So that's 2 games in a row as they defeated them yesterday at Fenway Park. And the game today was the makeup game for the rain out last night. They have another game tonight at 7 o'clock. The ball up and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hopefully the Red Sox can get on a roll. They've been hovering right around 500 all season. Here's a little number over to third base. That's rolling foul. Good job by the third baseman, Nate Pelletier, to let that ball go foul and then pick it up in foul territory. The Tampa Bay Rays got out to a fast start in the American League East. And they're so far ahead of the Red Sox that it's going to be tough for the Red Sox to make up a lot of ground in the second half of the season. There's a big swing and a miss, and he goes down swinging as the Twins threaten but do not score here in the bottom of the third inning as they get a run and they leave runners on second and third. So after three complete, it's the White Sox 8 and the Twins 3. We'll be back on here at Gill Stadium. If you're just joining us, it's Pony Day at Gill Stadium, where the Pony players have a chance to play on a Major League diamond. And we have a new pitcher for the Twins. His name is Evan Duca Kelly. He wears number 15, big lanky right-hander. And up to bat for the White Sox here in the top half of the fourth inning is the catcher, number 8, Jude Ellico. Wind is blowing left to right here in Gill Stadium as it's picked up since the start of the game. Here's a nice fastball strike on the outside corner for strike one. No balls, one strike. Here's strike two, so that's actually strike three. I missed the first strike, so that's 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and 1 out for the White Sox in the top half of the the fourth inning. And up to bat is the first baseman, number 5, Noah Bousquet. Here's a strike, so 4 pitches, 4 strikes. Evan seems like he's very comfortable with this distance, 60 feet 6 inches, as he's a big boy and he's making it reach no problem and throwing strikes. Here's another strike on the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. The umpires give a little bit more room here at this age group. There's a swing and a miss. So Evan Duca Kelly comes on for the Twins and strikes out the first 2 batters he faces. And brings up the number 11, Joe Byron, the number 6 hitter. To move the games along, especially at this distance. They probably give him a little bit more than a ball on each corner. There's another strike to Joe. No balls, 1 strike. Ball thrown behind Joe Byron. So the count runs even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Another strike on the outside corner for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the player who wears number 11, which is called Sticks for the White Sox, Mr. Joseph Byron. There's 3 on the inside corner, so Eric Duca Kelly comes in and makes short work of the White Sox here in the top of the fourth inning. 1, 2, 3, they go down. So we move to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Let's see if the Twins can get some runs. They're trailing 8-3. We'll be right back. Back on here at Gill Stadium in the bottom half of the fourth inning, and the pitcher that threw 11 pitches in the top half with 10 pitches with 9 strikes in the top half. Kyle, who's our statistician here, just told me 10 pitches in the top half of the fourth inning with 9 strikes. Did a great job, and he's leading off to try to get the Twins to score some runs to get closer in this ball game. Counts 2 balls, 1 strike. There's a ball drilled into right field for a base hit. So Eric Duca Kelly does just that. and gets the Twins going with a leadoff hit. So he's on at first base. Brings up the third baseman, number 8, Jackson Calabro. There's a throw over to first base. Nice pickoff move by the White Sox pitcher, Cam Lioness. Back goes Eric diving into first base. Looked like he was very aggressive, like he's going to steal here. And there he goes. There's a throw down to second base, and Eric slides in safely. So he's in scoring position. The bases, as you can see, are movable bases. The umpire, Ephraim Coleus, goes and puts it back into place, which is one of the safety features, a pretty nice safety feature here at Gill Stadium with the older players and the Legion players that come and play on a nightly basis that don't jam an ankle or a wrist going in head first. As soon as the base feels some contact, it breaks away from the standing that's in the ground, which is a nice idea. There's ball 2 to Jackson, 2 balls, no strikes. There's ball 3, so Cam's a little wild here to start the 4th inning, and 3 balls, no strikes. There's strike 1 to Jackson. 3 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. He was way out in front of that pitch. A little pulled. Cam took a little bit something off that, a little changeup. Jackson was way ahead of it, so the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And the catcher throws down to first base, and the first baseman steps on the bag just ahead of sliding and hustling Jackson Calabro for the first out. So he goes down swinging. And moving over to third base is the Twins pitcher, Eric Duca Kelly, who's 90 feet away from scoring the 4th run for the Twins. And brings up the shortstop, Alexander Mendez. Here's a wild pitch, and here comes Eric Duca Kelly to the plate. He slides in safely, and he does score the 4th run of the game, so he does it all by himself with a leadoff hit, stolen base, and scores on a wild pitch. And the score now is the White Sox 8 and the Twins 4. Another ball outside, 2 balls, no strikes. There's a swing and a miss. Nice change up again from the White Sox pitcher. They had Alexander fooled. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's a ball hit up the middle. Shortstop Nate Tuget comes over behind the bag. Makes a real strong throw over to first base and throws a strike to get a hustling Alexander Mendez for the 2nd out in the Twins' 4th inning. Nice play by the White Sox shortstop. Brings up number 17, Keith O'Sullivan, the center fielder for the Twins. Yeah, big swing and a miss for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Here's the 2-strike pitch outside and wide. 1-2 to the Twins center fielder. good eye by Keith. Here's a swing and a miss. The ball is dropped, and they're going to have to throw to first base again. But Keith O'Sullivan is speedy, and he goes running by the bag. So you can mark that as a strikeout and a wild pitch. But Keith O'Sullivan's over on first base with 2 outs. Brings up the number 10 hitter, the right fielder, Preston Bienvenu. Strike 1 to Preston. Let's see if the Twins steal Keith O'Sullivan. He has some speed over there with 2 outs. Try to get him in scoring position. Ball 1. That ball goes back to the backstop, and there goes Keith O'Sullivan into scoring position. So he's down at second, hoping for a timely hit from his teammate, Preston Bienvenu. Here's a nice pitch in the outside corner for strike 3. So the Twins score once and creep a little bit closer here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And we've played 4 innings complete at the old ballpark with the White Sox still holding an 8-4 lead. We'll be back in a moment. We move along to the 5th inning here at the old ballpark at Gill Stadium with the White Sox leading the Twins 8-4. And leading off for the White Sox is the center fielder, number 2, Cole Null. This is the 2nd inning of pitching for number 15, Evan Duca Kelly for the Twins. The ball hit straight up in the air. Evans running. Nice play by Evan, trying to get to it, just misses it. His name is Evan Ducatelli. I'm looking at the lineup card now. I've been mispronouncing his name. I apologize for that. But there's a foul ball for strike 1 to Cole Null, the White Sox center fielder. There's a ball hit to the first base side that goes past first baseman Chris Elkins. So just like that, we have 2 more pitches and 2 strikes. Counts 0-2. Ball up high, nice eye by Cole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball to shortstop. Alexander Mendez up with it. Nice throw, and it goes over Chris Elkins' head. And over to second base goes Cole Null. Alexander kind of guided that ball over to first base instead of just throwing it hard and threw it away from Chris Elkins. Kind of disappointed with himself. He's a pretty good shortstop. So the White Sox have their leadoff runner at second base. Brings up the left fielder, number 12, Jacob Parsons. Ball 1 low to Jacob. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to the White Sox left fielder. The Twins cannot give the White Sox any more runs here as we're getting late in the ball game. They're already behind by 4 runs. And Eric's trying to keep them at bay. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jacob. outside that goes past the catcher. And Cole Noltz over to third base, so he's at third, 90 feet away from padding the White Sox lead. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's thrown high. Here comes Cole to the plate, and the throw's too late. So a hustling Cole scores the 9th run of the game for the White Sox as he was hustling all the way from third. As soon as he saw that ball go past the catcher, he come in to score the 9th run of the game. So Jacob Parsons over at first base with a walk and brings up the right fielder, number 5, Dylan Gentes. Dylan, who plays for the Blue Jays, is filling in for the White Sox. You can see he's got a blue jersey on, the Blue Jays. And the good thing about our league, if a team is short with the Father's Day activities and the graduations that were going on this weekend, if the teams are short, they could pick up a player to play right field for them and bat last. And that's what the White Sox did. They got Dylan, who we'd like to thank him for filling in for the White Sox this afternoon. There's a strike to Dylan. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dylan's playing in the next game. He actually filled in for a Colt team at 1 o'clock. So he will be playing 3 games today at Gill Stadium. And a swing and a miss by Dylan. He's down on the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball outside. Count runs even, 2-2. Ball outside. The count run full. 3-2. Dylan done a pretty patient job of waiting for a nice pitch to hit. And he should get a pretty good pitch here. 3-2 count. That ball's up and away, so nice walk. And a patient at bat by Dylan Gentes. So the White Sox have runners on first and second here and start the 5th inning. Brings up the leadoff hitter, the pitcher, Cam Lannis. Here's the ball. So Eric had pretty good control when he first came into this game, striking out 3 hitters in one of the innings that he faced, and he's been kind of all over the place here in this inning, trying to locate the strike zone. Here's a pitch for a strike, ground ball at shortstop. Alexander Mendez makes a nice play, steps on second, but throws the ball over. Chris Elkins headed first, and in comes the White Sox 10th run of the game. Jacob Parsons went to third base, and the ball's in play. And Alexander Mendez makes a nice play at second base, but threw the ball wild to first, so the White Sox now lead it 10-4. I think what the manager, Roger Rattard, is questioning with the umpire is that the runner blocked the second baseman from making a play to throw over to first base and interfered with the shortstop on the play. And he's speaking to him now. I don't know if the home plate umpire, John Triscani, is going to ask the base umpire. He isn't. He saw it pretty well, and Efren probably saw it at second base, so the run does count, and they lead it 10-4. Now up is number 13, Nate Pelletier. Ball outside to Nate, 1 ball, no strikes. Here's a strike over the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's the ball low. 2 balls and 1 strike to the White Sox third baseman, Nate Pelletier. Yeah, big swing and a miss. Count runs even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's a wild pitch. Ball goes back, and the White Sox get their 11th run of the game, courtesy of a wild pitch. That was ball 4 to Nate Pelletier, so he's over at first base. And the White Sox do pick up another run, the 11th run of the ball game. Ball high to the White Sox shortstop, Nate Duquette. Throw over to first base, and that goes over Chris Elkins' head. That ball's going to go out of play, and that preventing for Nate Pelletier from going further. So he gets a 1 base as the ball goes out of play off of that missed throw to first base. So he's in scoring position with 1 out here in the 5th inning. And there's another wild pitch. I think Eric's getting a little bit tired here. He come in, he was phenomenal in the first inning that he pitched, and now he's been struggling to find the strike zone. Counts 2 balls, no strikes. There's another ball that goes back to the screen, and the 12th run of the game comes in as Nate Pelletier slides safely into home. So now the White Sox have a big lead here, 12-4. Ball 4 to Nate, so he's on at first base. So he's at first base with 1 out, and the manager, Roger Todd, is coming to the mound to get his right-hander. So we're going to take a break in the action with the White Sox leading the Twins 12-4 here at Gill Stadium. We'll be right back. come out. Eric Ducatelli is still in the game after manager Roger Todd leaves. And up to bat is Jude Ellico. Ball 1 to Jude, the White Sox catcher. Here's a stretch of the pitch. There goes a run to third base, and a beautiful hit and run executed by the White Sox as Jude Elko hits a ball into center field. And Noah Duquette and Nate Duquette comes across for the 13th run of the game for the White Sox. That was a great job of hitting. They did a beautiful hit and run, and Jude Elko put his meat of the bat on the baseball into center field with an RBI, knocked in Nate Duquette. So the White Sox are 1 run away from leading by 10 runs, and we do have a 10-run mercy rule here in the Pony League, that if a team is up by 10 runs from the 5th inning on, the game will be stopped, but the Twins have to hit in their home half of the 5th inning. There's the strike to the next batter, Noah Bousquet, the first baseman. No balls, 1 strike. I'd like to give a nice shout-out to a friend of mine, Mike, who's listening and watching the game on Manchester Public Television. Hang in there, buddy, and enjoy your happy Father's Day. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon. That's a balk by the pitcher. He turned to home, and then he turned to first base, which is a balk warning. Every pitcher has 1 warning in our program, so the umpire, Ephraim Colias, gives Eric a warning. Here's the pitch to the plate, which is wide, and Jude Ellico goes down to second base. So he's at second with 1 out. And a timely hit here by the White Sox first baseman can put them in that 10-run rule here in the 5th inning. A ground ball. It's hit back to the pitcher, and that ball actually was up in the air. I thought the ball hit the plate and bounced up, but went off his bat to the pitcher. And a nice play by Eric Ducatelli. So 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. Brings up number 11, Joe Byron. A ground ball at third baseman. Jackson Calabro comes in, throws over to first base, and retires the base runner. But the White Sox strike again and put up a crooked number here in the top of the 5th inning. And after 4.5, they lead it 13-4. We'll be right back. Steve Fosman, high above Gill Stadium in the Manchester Public Television booth as we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The White Sox hold a commanding 13-4 lead over the Twins. And up to bat is the top of the order in the second baseman, number 2, Alex Solis. Here's a ball hit into short left field, and Nate Duquette can't come up with it. And on at first base with a leadoff single is Alex Solis. They were playing him in because Alex's stature, but he hit the ball hard and put the ball over Nate's head. So he's on with a leadoff hit. Brings up the first baseman, number 3, Chris Elkins. Ball inside to Chris. Chris has got a hit today and scored one of the Twins' runs. They're down 13-4. Big swing and a miss. He's the number 2 hitter on this Twins team. Let's see if the Twins can come back and put up their own crooked number to try to get back into this ball game. Ball inside to Chris. 2 balls, 1 strike. Coming up at 6:30 tonight is the back half of our Pony League game at Gill Stadium. The Red Sox will be in action versus the Blue Jays. Should be a pretty good ball game. The number 1 and 2 teams so far this spring in the program. coming up at 6:30. There's a big swing and a miss by Chris. So the pitcher, Cam Lioness, strikes him out for the first out in the Twins' fifth inning. Brings up the number 3 hitter, the catcher, Ronnie Rivera. Ronnie's got a triple. He's been on base twice. A ball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Cam Lioness has done a pretty good job coming in, relieving Joe Byron. For the most part, he's thrown strikes. He's handled his distance pretty well, and he's kept the White Sox ahead since he's entered the ball game. Here's a wild pitch that goes back to the screen, and on his horse is Alex Solis as he moves down to second base. So Alex is in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. There's a nice strike right over the meat of the plate. 3 balls and 1 strike. Big swing and a miss by Ronnie Rivera. He didn't want to walk. He wanted to put the ball in play. And Cam handcuffed him inside, so the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ball low, ball 4, so good at bat by Ronnie Rivera. He draws a walk, so the Twins have 2 runners on base for their cleanup hitter, number 12, Joe Allen. Big swing and a miss as Cam took a little something off that. He has a changeup to his repertoire. And Joe Allen was way ahead of that pitch, so no balls, 1 strike. And there's strike 2. As Cam's thrown 2 nice pitches to Joe. Here's a ball that just misses. He was hoping Mr. Allen would go out and offer and pitch a little off the plate. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a ball hit in between short and third. Nice play by the third baseman. Comes over and throws the ball to second. And the second baseman, Joe Byron, had trouble with his footing, and he was off the bag at second base. So the Twins are in business, and they load the bases. It looked like Joe was moving over to second base and turned his ankle. Had a hard time finding the bag. So the Twins got bases loaded with 1 out, trying to get back into the ball game. And up to bat is the left fielder, Liam Hobbs. There's a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Ball inside, 1 balls, 1 strike. Ball 1. It's a 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Twins left fielder, Liam Hobbs. That ball hits Liam in the back. So, as the old saying goes, let's get some ice. We got ice. So, Liam says, I'll take that. That's an RBI. And he scores Alex Solis, who comes in and stamps on the plate for the 5th run of the game for the Twins. So the Twins have still bases loaded with 1 out, and brings up the pitcher, Evan Ducatelli. A nice hard hit ball in the gap by Evan would make this game even a little closer here. Ball outside. Three balls, one strikes to the Twins pitcher. Here's ball four. So he goes over to first base with the walk, and in comes Ronnie Rivera for the sixth run of the game. So the score's 13-6. And up to bat is the third baseman, Jackson Calabro. So Jackson's up there looking for a timely hit to help his team. There's a strike to Jackson. No balls, one strike. Here's a big swing and a miss for strike two. One ball, two strikes. Ball inside. Nice stop by the White Sox catcher. And here's ball four. So here comes the Twins' seventh run of the game. Just like that, they're down 6. And up to bat is their shortstop, Alexander Mendez. The Pony League also has a time limit. No inning can start after 2 hours and 15 minutes. So the next inning, the sixth inning, will be the final inning of the ball game as we're approaching 2 hours now. The game started a little after 4 o'clock. So we'll probably play 6 innings in this game, giving the other two teams a chance to play their game immediately after this one. Manager Jason O'Neill goes out to talk to his pitcher, so he's going to leave Cam Lioness in the game. And let's see if Alexander Mendez can help his team. Here's a fastball strike to Jay Alexander in the outside corner. No balls, one strike. Here's a ball drilled in the left field, but it's right at the left field. A nice catch out there by the White Sox left fielder, Jacob Parsons. Jay Alexander drilled that ball. If it was left or right a little bit, it would have been trouble. But a nice play by the White Sox left fielder. So that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that brings up number 17, Keith O'Sullivan. Big swing and a miss by Keith. No balls, one strike. There's a fastball over the outside corner for strike 2. So Keith's down, no balls and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3 in the 3rd out of the Twins' 5th inning, but they do pick up a couple more runs. And after 5 complete, it is the Twins trailing the White Sox 13-7 here at Gill Stadium. We'll be right back. After 2 hours, this was the final inning of the ball game with the final score. The White Sox 13 and the Twins 7. Good game. And Steve Fosman back here live at Gill Stadium, and we have the most valuable player from the first game, a 13-7 victory for the White Sox. It's none other but the starting pitcher of the game for the White Sox, Mr. Joseph Byron. Hello, Joseph.
Hello.
Tell me a little bit about the game and tell me a little bit about playing here at Gill Stadium.
Playing at Gill Stadium, it's a different experience from a normal grass field, because like when the ball hits the ground, it's gonna keep on rolling for a very long time.
So you can get hits that go in the gaps, as we saw today. The kids have fun playing on this field. The Pony Field has grass all the way around and has dirt, and so Joe said as far as playing on this field, they have more fun with sliding from base to base. Now tell me about the distance. You seem like you were having a little trouble finding the plates on some pitches.
Yeah, the mound's a lot longer than and it's a lot solid. It's a lot solider. Yeah.
So it's a little bit tougher at 60 feet 6 inches rather than the 54 feet. So it takes a lot to throw strikes. You had a couple of hits today, and you were selected as the most valuable player award, and you received a $25 gift certificate for Cactus Jacks, one of our sponsors here in Manchester. We congratulate you very much. Tell us a little bit about playing in the Pony League.
The Pony League's a very fun experience. It's more than just a game. It's more like when you join a team, it's like a family, kinda. Like you have to join the team, be there for as much as you can. Yeah.
So you got to be a teammate to your teammates, and I know your coach Jason O'Neill talks highly above you. When you go out and you play different positions. You pitch and you catch, and I know you play different positions. You made the All-Star team last year. So we'd like to congratulate you. We're glad you're having fun in the Pony League, and keep it up. I know the playoffs are coming up in a couple of weeks, and hopefully the White Sox can do some damage in the playoffs. Congratulations to Joe Byron, who is our player of the game and the most valuable player in the first game victory. The White Sox beat the Twins 13-7. Thank you.